Something that I forgot to tell you to do in in part one is to add a question where they put their name. So this will be a good way for me to show you how to move a question around if you want to put it in a different place. So I'm going to do the last question here is name, and it's going to be short answer. It's going to need to be required. And then I want it to be the first question. So what I'm going to do is slide it up here. You just grab the little Lego piece. Looks like a little Lego piece here. And just pull it up. And that one doesn't want to go all the way up. So I'm going to pull this one down and make it the second question. There we go. So anyway, so then that way you'll be able to see their names on it. You can change the theme by going up here to the little paint palette. You can choose a different color. You can add more colors if you are of that ilk to like customize your colors. And then you can just change how light or dark the background is here. You can also do font style, but only gives you a few choices. Playful is kind of fun, but decorative and formal are a little hard to read, especially for math. So I'm just going to leave it at basic. And then if you want to take the test yourself to see, to make sure that it works, you type your name in. This is just what the students will see. So I'm going to take the test and I'm going to get a bunch wrong, and you submit and view your score. Now you can change this. I'm going to show you how to change it. Anyway, so that's how I did. I did really badly. I should have listened in class. So I want to get rid of that response because I realized I made mistakes. So what I'm going to do is go back to my original up here. I'm going to delete those responses because that's not part of the actual test that I'm going to be giving. So I'm going to delete that. But this shows you what you see when students answer it too. When you're done with the test, you don't want students submitting any more responses. You can turn that off. So if they try to retake the test past the date that you're giving the test, then it shuts it off. Anyway, here are your settings. This is where you set up your quiz settings. So you can have it collect email addresses. It's easier just to have them put their names in because then you're not figuring out whose email is whose. Limit it to one response. If you want them to be able to edit after they submit it, you can change that. For them to see summary charts and text responses, you can also click that if you want them to see that. For the presentation, you can show a progress bar. If it's a long test or it's a test with sections, you can show the progress bar. You can shuffle the question order, but it will shuffle your name in there, so the name question. So there's no way to anchor that first question. That would be nice if they did that, but they haven't done that yet. It's a suggestion I sent them a long time ago. Quizzes. This is where this is where the rubber meets the road for quizzes. You want to make this a quiz. If you're doing a questionnaire, this is turned off and it won't automatically score it for you. Here's locked mode for Chromebooks. This doesn't work on regular computers, only will work on their Chromebooks. But you can turn on locked mode and it keeps them from going other places to find answers, like Googling the answers. You can release the grade immediately after submission for this test because it's an objective test. I would release the grade immediately, but if I want to do a manual review, I would click on here, and that would mean that they wouldn't get the grade till after I review it. Do you want them to see the missed questions, the correct answers, or the point values? You can do that as well. So you can decide how you want that, and then you save that. Okay, and so then now the quiz is the way that I want it. So one of the things I've discovered that this new form doesn't do is it doesn't update this. Now I had to re-record this video because I goofed on the other recording. So it's showing it now, but what I had to do was I had to use the little refresh button up here to get it to populate this part. Anyway, so then I'm going to go over here and check my class stuff. It's for my fake class. It's going to include all students. If it's only for some students, I would click here and uncheck the students I don't want it to go to. It's set for 3 points. I had to change that from 100. I put no due date. You can add a due date. The topic is math, and there's no rubric for this one. And so you just click assign, and now it's ready for students to take the quiz.